Good morning and welcome to Tirana in Albania. And I thought in today's video I would share with you my first impressions of this city as I'm walking around and exploring. The first impression that I want to talk about is that it seems to be a very cycle friendly city. There are lots of cycle lanes, everywhere is pretty flat. You just have to be watching out for the bikes as you are walking around, especially if, like me, you are partially sighted. I'm blind in my right eye, so I have to take a special care when I'm walking around. But yes, it's a very cycle friendly city, and in the heat of summer it's great to find places where you can sit down, people watch, get in the shade, avoid the sun. Yes, lots of spots all over the city to relax. See, here you can even have a game of chess. Lots of little seated tables and these blocks of wood that you can sit down on, seated areas. And this here is the river Lana, and as you can see, it is a beautiful day, blue skies, the weather has been fantastic. And Tirana certainly has a fantastic coffee culture. Loads of places like this to relax. Let's talk about COVID for a minute. Yes, you will have noticed that nobody is wearing masks. Yesterday we had 7 cases in Tirana. I don't know how many people have been tested, but yes, nobody's wearing masks. It was a very easy country to get access to. No PCR tests, no confirmation that you've had both vaccines, which I have. So yes, it was a very easy country to get access to. The cases are keeping low, and that for me is a big positive. One of the reasons why I decided to come to Albania. Sorry, correction, 7 cases in Albania, in a country, not in Tirana. I'm not sure how many cases were actually in the city. But also you can see I'm very hot and sweaty. I've just lathered myself with Factor 50 sun cream because this Brit is burning in the sun. I feel to really understand the history of the country and this city, it's important to educate yourself, and I haven't done that yet. And I'm obviously not going to film them because that would be creepy. But I have to say the Albanian women are beautiful. Lots of really interesting street art as you walk around the city. I'm hoping you can see me because I'm in the shade again, sweltering, but keeping hydrated. Where we are now is called the Grand Park of Tirana, and this at the side of me here is a man-made lake, and it's just absolutely beautiful to come here. There's little cafes, as I'll show you in a minute or two, of where you can just sit down and have a coffee and watch the world go by, and it's such a chilled atmosphere here. That's one of the biggest kind of first impressions that I've had. I don't know if you can make them out on the GoPro, but they're just the mountains hazy in the background there. And as I said, just little coffee shops all the way along here. You can just watch the world go by and people watch. It is just a beautiful spot. Loving it. So obviously, as a remote worker, I need to have a good internet connection to be able to do my work. And I've been really pleased that I've been able to get my work done, and the internet connections in cafes has been fast, been decent. On my 4G phone I'm getting speeds of around 150 megabytes per second download and about 20 megabytes per second upload, which is really fast. In my apartment it's a little bit slower using the broadband, but it's not causing huge problems. There is a few problems with, video calls which I'm having to tether to my mobile phone, but that's not a huge problem. I don't have that many video calls, but I'm able to get my work done, which for me is really important, because if I can't work I don't get paid, and then I can't live this lifestyle. But just look at these views, isn't it incredible? Maybe this used to be a pier at some point, I'm not too sure. But the views across the lake there, stunning. It's just cooling down in the shade. The language barrier hasn't really been a barrier, if I'm being completely honest. I've been able to ask what I'm looking for. A lot of the signs as you're walking around the city are in English and Albanian. Also just speaking with people, a lot of people speak good English. And yeah, not had a problem with the language. I am trying to learn a few of the local words, which I always try and do when I visit a new country. But it's always a challenge being a Yorkshireman, and pronouncing the words has always been a problem if you've watched my videos in the past. With regard to the locals, I found them friendly and approachable, no problems so far. Obviously, I'm in 5 days into my visit in Tirana and not had any problems. I felt very safe walking around even at night time, so it's all good. Just noticing people out painting, mainly kids by the looks of it, or some adults as well. Wow, isn't this just beautiful? You know me, I like my chilled spots, I like my chilled life, and this is the perfect place for me to be right now. So my advice would be, if you come here during the summer months, to get up early in the morning. It gets light at about 5 o'clock in the morning, and then get out and explore whilst it's cooler, and then in the afternoon chill out in a coffee bar or in your apartment if you're staying in an apartment like myself. So just going back to safety, I've had nobody approach me, I've had no scammers come up to me, but it's like any city in the world, you have to be on guard, you have to be wary of people around you, and that advice doesn't just exist in Albania, it's in any country in the world. A lot of it's common sense and just being aware of what's going on around you and not walking around with your mobile phone in your hand and flashing your money around, that kind of thing. Just general common sense. I've not experienced public transport yet because it's such a walkable city. It's very flat, you can walk around no problem. In the first 3 days I'd walked over 30 kilometres. So yes, a very walking friendly city. Lost count how many times I've said the word wow. Fascinating, amazing. You can probably hear the music behind me, and it's a big bouncy castle and kids are out enjoying themselves. There's adults and children just sat along the lake painting. It feels surreal when you come from countries which are still struggling with COVID cases, like Malaysia, which is back down in a lockdown. I hope my friends in Malaysia are keeping safe. And then back home in the UK we had 27,000 cases, but the good thing is not as many deaths, only a small number of deaths, only a small number of hospitalizations, so at least the vaccines are helping. But yeah, it is surreal, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm loving it. It feels like finally after 18 months life is getting back to normal, and that just feels incredible. Said that word again, incredible. Butterfly just flew by. Beautiful. I'm really hoping that this video is going to make more people realise just how beautiful Tirana is, and a visit is highly recommended. I'm going to be in Tirana until the end of July, and I've got videos coming up about the cost of living here in the city, but also food. That's definitely something that's going to feature in a future video, so keep a lookout for that. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you've got any questions about Tirana or Albania or being a digital nomad remote worker who travels, then please let me know down in the comments section. I'm now going to go back to my apartment to cool off because I am red hot. I've been out exploring for about 4 hours today and it's getting towards that midday heat. Until my next video, take care and travel safe.